Dating terms you should know, whether you're single or not. You're going to hear about it because everyone has friends that are single. That you should know in 2023. They're modern, more modern, including woke fishing. You know, woke fishing. And Jason, if you were single, I think you'd be guilty of this.
Really?
If the girl's hot enough, you would.
I don't know about that. I like ghosting, but I don't know about this woke fishing.
Woke fishing and Squid, maybe because you're single. Both, me and Squid just two dudes, man.
Single
dudes.
Out here in
single
prime.
dudes.
Two single dudes.
Couple of toxic kings.
Two non-married people.
Very young,
Presents to
very
women.
hip.
Yeah.
Oh, women are just like, wow, these two.
How do I decide?
Wow. Can I have them both? Wow. Yes, you can.
Man,
lady.
you put them
Yes, you
together.
can.
What a disgusting human that'd be. But no, seriously, though. Woke fishing is acting like you're more liberal than you are so that they're interested in you.
That's totally what Jason
That
would
is not true.
Yeah.
It would be hard to do, Jason, but I think you would do it if she was a 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
If it
you
was a
would.
Margot
If she
Robbie,
was
you
a
would do
10,
it.
I would think Joe Biden was smart.
He has it all together.
if she was a 10, Jason would be talking mostly about his social issues
Yes, that's true.
because that's where he leans that side.
Right.
Yes. Thank you, Matt, for identifying that.
Right,
Most
absolutely.
people don't realize that I'm actually an independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason supports weed.
In the Pope's Catholic, right?
Yes.
Not
Well,
Catholic.
I do have a certain beliefs that lean.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So woke fishing is pretending you're more liberal than you are because you're interested. But yeah,
That's funny.
if they're a
see
10,
that.
you're Jason. Well, yeah, defund the police. We don't need that. I love that.
Heard there's a protest this weekend. Want to go?
I love marching with vagina hats on my head.
Can we go to your place after?
You're like DeSantis, like, "Ugh." All right. Benching is a dating term of 2023, and it is just like it sounds. Like in sports, you get benched, and sometimes it's you like hooking up with this person. It's kind of like friends with benefits, but
Yeah.
you don't want you just don't want to go any further because you're looking for somebody else.
Mm.
So they're kind of on your bench.
Yeah, you have to keep
Okay.
them on your bench because you don't know if you're going to find that somebody else, and you might need that fill-in.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to go to the
Might
bench.
be late in the game, late at night, and you need to, someone to get off the bench.
There you go.
Yeah, call him in.
You're like, all the starters are unavailable, so
Yeah.
Or injured.
They're injured. Yeah, they're injured. They're out.
And one technique,
on
Squid, just some advice for you. If, the girl that you're seeing, if you know that she has a baby, sometimes they're a little bit more apt to saying yes or liking you because they feel as though they might have, some baggage per se. And then you
experienced
might
this,
be able to get a hotter girl if she has that baby.
Yes.
And then at 3 a.m, you say, "Hey, I have diapers."
which Jason did.
I did.
Jason did.
Oh, there's a formula shortage?
I got you, girl.
Guess what I got?
I found real breast milk online. I ordered for it. I know you have trouble pumping. Like the least romantic things you could ever say. Breadcrumbing. We've heard this before. Breadcrumbing is basically you pop up every few months or weeks. You're not into them, and you're like, oh, hey, I saw so and so remind me of you, and
It's called breadcrumbing.
breadcrumbing. You kind of just leave them little, kind of like Hansel and Gretel. You kind of leave them a trail. Like, no, I'm interested, but it's not enough. It's not every day. So maybe 2 weeks go by, you haven't talked to them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just drove by that restaurant we went to that one time 3 years ago.
Yeah. It's like enough to keep them on the bench, and they don't leave the team.
Yeah, they're enough to follow the trail.
Yeah.
And are these called dating terms or techniques?
Terms, and well, they're one and the same, but dating terms.
Okay.
Cookie jarring. This sounds delicious. This is if you've been seeing someone only to find out they've been seeing others behind your back.
Ooh,
You're getting cookie
Isn't
jarred.
that just cheating?
Oh.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same, it's always good to get on the same page. Like, no, that's fine. You see other people, I see other people. Otherwise, you're being cookie jarred.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Groundhogging. It's like Groundhog Day. Mistake of going after the same type of wrong person over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can see that, and I'll know a lot of women do
Yeah.
this sometimes. They go after what they consider like the bad dude, the bad guy, the bad boy. And they like that look. They like it because we can fix them. That's what they're thinking, right? In the meantime,
Yes.
no, he's just bad. He's not going to ever treat you right. And for some reason, they're more attracted to that type of guy than the guy that would treat them right. It makes no sense.
Yeah. He's like, oh, he's unemployed and he's been out of jail for a couple weeks.
But he has a sick sleeve.
Yeah, he's got these nice
his
tats.
cages.
Yeah, I got to drive him everywhere and pay for everything, but yeah.
At least I know where it's going.
I wouldn't define somebody
This
as
isn't
not
a-
a good dater if they have tattoos.
No, I'm saying the whole package.
Yeah.
No. Let's not take it too literal. That's just an example,
Yeah,
Jason.
okay.
Yeah.
It's basically the cast of Fast and the Furious. And
Face,
you're like,
Yeah,
I want
a
that.
face or neck tattoo, then you got a question.
Yeah.
A rough stereotype.
But then it'll be like you said, Jason, a good guy who like works hard.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
has a good job and is
It's-
thoughtful, and they're like, no.
Because I don't
Yeah,
think it's
and then-
it's like it doesn't spark the same emotion. They like the taboo. They like
Mhm.
the. It's so weird if you think about it. It's like
Yeah.
it's not as engaging. It's not as fun to them.
Yes,
yeah, but
right?
then it's a snowball effect because the good dude who keeps getting shut down all the time, eventually he has his breaking point, and he's like, "The hell with this! Being the good guy ain't working out for me no more." And then he flips that page and turns that leaf and becomes a toxic king.
that's right.
And then the woman, when she's gone through all her trials and errors and is like, "Oh, I need to settle down for a good guy now," you can't find him because homeboy already turned that leaf and he's not a good guy no more.
You made him a toxic king.
You made him a toxic king.
You join the TKs.
Yeah. You don't like the TK's women. It's your fault. It's your fault. Yeah.
We can say it's because Katie's not here today.
That's
Yes,
one of the
we
most
can.
toxic king statements I've ever heard.
Dating terms that are for 2023, fizzling. It's unlike ghosting. There's no abrupt end to the communication, but you want the relationship to be over, so you kind of slowly fade out. You fizzle out.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Huh.
Another one is
That makes sense.
is called orbiting, and it involves where you never really date the person. You like their stories. You watch their stories
Well, I
on
hear that happens
Instagram.
a lot to women do it to guys a lot on social
Orbiting.
media.
Yeah.
Social media, it's always like you talk like you're about to go out on a date and then it never happens.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, yes, I've seen that. As a newly divorced again, Jason beat you to it.
Yes.
Person is that
How
yeah.
about
it'll be-
multiple times, guys?
yes. Yeah. That's what again means. And
Well, not necessarily. I'm saying like multiple could mean like sometimes, more than average.
yeah. Yes, it is. Because most people were like, I ain't doing that again. But I'm like, yeah, sign me up. But I remember, and Squid told me about this before. He was like, the shocking amount of people that will make plans with you and then just never show up. And you just never hear from them
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and they might contact you first.
Yeah. It's weird.
And you're
Why-
like,
why is that?
what? I don't
What
know.
is your, since you've been divorced multiple times, what is your explanation? Do you think that when girls, I'm sure they have, girls reach out to you and they're asking you, like they basically reached out first. They act like they're into you. They act like they want to go on a date with you. They act and they're all about it. And then it never happens and they kind of just disappear. What's the explanation for that?
And I would like to hear Squid's perspective too. But I think part of it is they seemingly so they're getting hit up 1,000 times a day on social media. So maybe something better came along. You don't want to think that as the guy.
Yeah, but this girl, you might have a girl that's been talking to you for
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks on social media and then very engaged and just
Yeah.
it never happens or they cancel the plan.
Well, also then knowing people like Katie and other women, and obviously not dating them, but where she'll agree to do something that is fun with her friends, and they look forward to it. And then when the day comes, they get this weird kind of like, I don't want to. And then
why?
they back out.
Why?
Yeah.
That I don't know. Women, why do you do it? Why
Yeah.
do you
Wait,
do
what's
that
your
stuff?
perspective on
I
that?
think part of it is there's a lot of women out there who almost get like a high or like validation of just the attention from
Yeah.
men. And so like
true.
that's all they really need. And then when it comes to hanging out, they're like, I don't really care.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
they're
And
their
that's a good
thing in
point.
life, because if you think about even when it comes to even sex, a lot of times it's the women want to feel desired is the bigger turn on than the actual act.
Act itself.
In my
Yeah.
opinion,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for a
I
lot
mean,
of people probably.
Look, being desired feels good to me. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But the act for guys is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
Because you could be like,
Yeah.
I don't desire him, but I'll still hook up with him. Fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, in marriage.
No, I mean, when we got compliments from like gay dudes, we're like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Any sort of like specific compliment, you're like, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll take it, but not as good as.
No, of course not. And then that's also not as good if the person's not attractive.
No, of course
Not
not.
as good. I mean, you're like,
But I'm so. What my point was though, it was that
yes.
women like that much better than the act itself. Guys like the act itself better than the feeling of desire. Right?
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
If there's a smoking hot girl that really doesn't desire you, but is willing to hook up, you'll still go through with it.
Yes.
Right?
You're like, you don't desire me properly.
Yeah.
Your desire level's too low for me.
Yeah, it was this past weekend. I was like inside the bar, and my homie Ryan was outside the bar, and he was like, dude, you just missed it. These two baddies just walked by, and one said I was cute. And like, so I was like, talking about it the rest of the night. I was like, dude, I got a compliment.
Did it amount to anything?
Well, no, he said they were like walking their dogs or something like that. And he's like, you should have been out here because there was two of them. And I was just like,
If some girl, looking back, if I knew what I know now,
Right.
looking back, if some girl ever walked by, walking her dog that I thought was smoking hot that said, hey, you're cute, you have to follow up. You have to do something or you just missed the shot of your life.
Yeah.
And you can't wait, and you can't go find Squid who's like standing in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got, or who knows what he's doing.
Not that cool. Getting ready to show his dance on the dance floor.
yeah. And then rap to his own raps.
Yes.
You see Jason out there. She's walking her dog. Jason's like, all right, you can put me on that leash. I'll go with you.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That is a good one.
I'm with
man.
you. Let's go.
He's like, I already got my collar. He has it in his pocket and he puts it on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's got zippers.
But real quick, the dating term orbiting, we're kind of get into a little bit, but it's because of social media. It'll be like a woman or a man who they react to your stories, they hit you up in DMs, they talk to you a lot, but you never, ever go out. It's all social media.
Yeah.
And that's what we call annoying and a waste of time. No one wants a digital pen pal.
No.
I don't.
No.
Squid, do you want a digital pen pal?
Absolutely not. No.
My favorite one, though, wokefishing, pretending you're more liberal than you are
That's
to get
funny.
when you find somebody attractive. And both men and women could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I've known families, and I'm not going to mention anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but I've known families that the entire family leans one side of the political arena, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. This particular one was all to the right,
Yeah.
hardcore right, probably on most issues, more
Yeah.
than possibly me because I'm moderate, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm more independent, actually.
Thanks.
I'm independent, I think. But anyways, and they all have a big family, multiple brothers and everything else. And then one always used to, until he met a girl and got married to her, and now he's completely the opposite and the one out of the family that goes the other direction.
Mhm.
Because I
Right.
think the girl had the influence because you found somebody that you
Yeah, absolutely.
instead of having your own
beliefs.
which I think can be possible, and as long as I think it's possible as long as it's not extreme, right?
Mhm.
If one's not radically liberal and one's not radical Republican or conservative, I think it can work. You might just have different views as long it still can work. My point is,
Right.
because you're going to agree on some things,
Right.
but it's the complete opposite because that's what women can do to a guy. It all has to boil down to one thing.
and you just change your whole identity.
Yeah.
Like, I hate the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't like sports. It's
You
barbaric.
don't even know who you are anymore. But the one thing that can change everything, sexy time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think women. I think there's men that change women too. I mean, Katie at one point was like a huge Saints fan, and she talked about the Saints all the time. And I was like, she's like, oh, I love Drew Brees, but she was dating somebody, and then when they broke up, she never talked about the Saints again.
I don't
Doesn't
even-
care about.
No.
I don't even think she liked football.
No, now she's an NC State fan because
Yeah,
we're-
because what?
yeah, that's okay if you get into it. And then if
Yeah.
and she wears flat front khakis like her husband. No, she doesn't do that. But well, and then
Damn.
one of my ex's ex-wife, Heather, she was Republican when we were
that
together.
was the first one.
First one. If you have a score card,
Yeah.
kind of like you go to a putt, you got to keep score, or
Yes.
or at a baseball game if you're like
For your bingo card at
or your
home.
bingo card. Yeah, you
stack
might, you could win bingo.
Yeah.
Jared's ex-wife bingo, but and whatever, it's her choice. But and then when we weren't together anymore, I was like, huh, she is exact opposite now, in Democrat, like liberal, and I was like, it was surprising to me. That's
Yeah.
okay, but it was just like it's just different how somebody can, and so I think she would not be attracted to a more conservative person at this time.
But
maybe she didn't like me so
to
much.
be
She's
fair-
like, I change everything about me.
To be fair, in the last few years, people have been severely positioned
Yes, true.
and forced into certain groups based on just maybe one or two beliefs of that group.
That's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.